Welcome back to the TwinSpires Jury. I'm Ashley Anderson here with James Scully and Darren Sicali to talk our best bets and fades of the weekend at Churchill Downs, Aqueduct, and Woodbine. And Darren, I'm sure we have a couple of promos this weekend, especially with Churchill's September meet opening this weekend.
Yeah, obviously, with our partner track at Churchill Downs, we have plenty of promotions. We have the leaderboard on Thursday night to support that great Thursday live leaderboard contest. $2,000 is up for grab. Takes place every Thursday of the Churchill Downs September meet. And we have the $10 money back offer for Churchill Downs. That's going to be selected races on each race day. So be sure to log into the promos page and check those out. We also have a slew of others. We have Los Alamitos getting into some action with the live leaderboard contest as they get underway this weekend as well. And we even have a really cool leaderboard contest. It's a dual breed leaderboard. You have Woodbine and Mohawk at Woodbine, $10,000 combining the thoroughbreds and the standardbreds. That's going to take place on Saturday night. So never fails. We have a good mix of options for our players this weekend, Ashley.
Excellent. We'll let you start things off as well today. What is your best bet of the weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to look to just a simple allowance race at the Belmont and Aqueduct meet. I really like a horse by the name of Scramble, who's running in race number 5. It's an entry-level allowance scheduled to go 11 furlongs over the turf course. What it comes down to is that Scramble has just been running against some really, really good racehorses. Finished third behind Program Trading, 2 starts back. Finished a good second behind Khalik, who's a really nice horse. Been freshened up for this. Last time out was on the inner turf course at Saratoga and just came up a no short. Went out running his odds at 14-1. You're not going to get that price here by any stretch, but is now second time Lasix. And just to be fair, this field, while it has a couple of nice horses in it, doesn't come close to what he's been facing in each of the last 3 starts. Even though it's the same company, it's actually a pretty significant drop in class. So I'm going to look for Scramble to respond to the stretch out in distance, facing a softer group. The price is going to be gone, but I think he's a pretty surefire winner here for Barclay Tagg.
And I'll tell you, you mentioned those horses. They won graded stakes. Calic won the Pennine Ridge over Nice Field right after beating your horse. And then Program Trading won the grade 1 Belmont Derby. Even that risk-taking last time came back and ran second to Carl Spackler in the grade 3 Saranac. And I think risk-taking, Taking Candy? Is that the horse? Taking
Yes.
Candy, I'm sorry. I think he's going to be a nice stakes type for the Bow. So I do like that pick.
Well, who's your best bet, James?
I'm going to go to Churchill Downs in the Pocahontas Stakes, the race 7. It kicks off the road to the Kentucky Oaks, 2024 150th running of the Derby in Oaks this year, and the road to the Kentucky Derby and Oaks Series starts Saturday at Churchill Downs. Pocahontas got a really nice field, got some nice runners in there, but I like number 1 Empire Island. I think this 2-year-old filly. I'll just say this about her. She had trained superbly at Churchill Downs this summer. I know there was some buzz about the way she was training. She was entered on the opening day card against Sugar High. She was scratched from that race, came back a few weeks later in early August 6th, and really didn't break sharply from the starting gate from the rail post, took a lot of kickback that day, but I liked how she split rivals in the stretch and seemingly finished full of run. She came back and logged a couple of really nice works for Norm Cassie since then. I think Norm Cassie obviously has this rhyme scheme, who's unfortunately sidelined, but a very talented 2-year-old this year. And I think Empire Island has that same kind of stakes potential where she's going to step up and make a serious impact when going from a nice maiden win. So I'm going to give Empire the Island the edge in the Pocahontas Stakes, Ashley.
I like that pick. I'm going to go with a price at 8-1 on number 3, Mischievousness, in race 3 at Churchill. This is a maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies. Now, if you're playing any horizontal wagers, I'd certainly tell you to play a couple other horses in this leg of your horizontal wagers. It's a maiden special weight after all. But I like the price on this horse. She's making her debut for trainer Michelle Lovell, a 20% winner with horses debuting at the maiden special weight level. And Mischievousness is by Maximus Mischief, a sire whose first-time starters are winning at a 28% rate. He's the leading first crop sire by progeny earnings at the moment. And the 2-year-old is Out of a Dam, who's produced 3 winners from 4 starters, including a stakes winner. So a lot in her favor with her pedigree. Again, I'd include probably number 2, Plain Champagne, and number 10, Life Advice, if you're playing horizontal wagers. But I like the price on this horse. And Michelle Lovell, when she wins with first-time starters, tends to be long shot. So I'm going number 3, Mischievousness in this race. I know it's a little bold, gonna go with maiden special weight for my best bet. So let's
She's
move on.
She's a Maryland bred, and Michelle Level isn't known for two-year-old first timers, but her numbers are pretty solid from a small sample size. And she had Damon's Mound last year, was spectacular first out winner. So she can get it done with the right 2-year-old. And right, yeah, you got the right sire. He's like the leading freshman sire by wins and by progeny earnings.
Yeah.
And that dam hasn't just produced stakes winners. Wild for Love was actually a pretty nice horse. She was a stakes winner herself, and she looks plenty fit, Ashley. 3 consecutive 5 furlong works in preparation for this. So, these are tough races for sure. 2-year-olds with a lot of first-time starters, but definitely think she's got a nice profile for a debut runner.
Making me feel good about my pick. We'll see what happens. Well, let's move on to our fades of the weekend. Who are you not backing at a short price, James?
I'm going to go with search results in the grade 3 Locust Grove Stakes at Churchill Saturday. It's race 10. She's a 3-1 morning line favorite. I think she could even be lower odds. Tower Gaffalione, leading rider at Churchill's picking up the mount. But, search results didn't debut till her 3-year-old season. She's a 5-year-old mare now. She won 4 of her first 5 starts, came back last year, won 2 of her first 4 starts, and she has not won since last year, more than a year now. Lost 5 in a row. And I just don't think she's the same performer that she used to be. And one thing you'll just see looking at her past performances, she runs, Chad Brown works her 5 or 6 times. He's trying to get her back to where she used to be, but I think there's speed to the outside in Falconet. I think search results is going to be stalking the pace in second or third at a short price. And she showed more than a willingness to race evenly in that position throughout her starts this year. So I'm going to take a shot against search results. I know you're on the same page, DC.
Yeah, I think she's going to be shorter than that 3-1 morning line as well. The fact that she got beaten the Molly Pitcher really stands out to me. I know she's faced some killers throughout her career and has often run winning races in defeat. That was not the case most recently, though, in the Molly Pitcher. She's not knocking the field, but she's supposed to beat those horses. Leda Vita is one of the ones that finished in front of her. She encounters that mare again here in this spot. And again, nothing against Leda Vita, but when you take a look at search results, she's going off at 3-1, 4-1, 5-2 against Clairiere, against Secret Oath. Leda Vita, the last time she ran against Secret Oath, she was 41-1 against her. So it's just not a mare that she's supposed to be losing to. And when you take a look at this race, Pauline's Pearl is in here, the winner of the Fleur de Lis. And also towards the outside, Amo Ray is a horse that seems to be getting good at the right time, as is Falconet. I just think there's some up-and-coming fillies and mares in here that you could take at a better price. So search results, I've always respected her, but that last race really put up a yellow caution flag for me. So I'm going to try to beat her as well here, Ashley.
You all beat me to the punch because search results is going to be my fade as well. And she was my fade in July for the Molly Pitcher, came in third to Shotgun Hottie at a longer price. So I'll take it over to the Pocahontas. James, you talked about Empire Island, but the 2 morning line choices, I handicapped before the morning line came out, and Hot Beach caught my eye as a horse that I'm going to fade in this race. Got a lot of attention being by Omaha Beach, another first crop sire, but racing at a route for the first time and, won by 2 lengths in the debutante stakes at Ellis Park last out against a couple of today's race rivals and has looked sharp in workouts, but trainer Brian Lynch is just a 9% winner with horses racing at a route for the first time. Outside post is a little concerning as well. And, Empire Island was another horse I landed on, making her first start at a route for Norm Cassie. And Ricardo Santana Jr. is 7 for 9 paired with Cassie over the last 60 days. So a lot going in Empire Island's favor. You almost had me as the 2-1 morning line choice, has a chance to rebound, was, a winner by more than 8 lengths in her first 2 starts. But again, I see reasons to fade both of the morning line choices here. So going against Hot Beach for sure, but also back in Empire Island at 5-1.
We're on the same page.
All right. Sounds like we are too with our fades this week. So what else are you all going to be watching for this weekend, Darren?
They have a huge day of racing up at Woodbine on Saturday, featuring, of course, the Woodbine Mile, a grade 1 event. But the race that really stood out to me is the grade 1 Natalma. The 2-year-old turf fillies this year are just loaded. I mean, there are just some major fillies everywhere you look. And this race has come up particularly tough because the PG Johnson Stakes, which is really the first major stake for the 2-year-old turf fillies, came off the turf. So you have a lot of horses from up at Saratoga, like Brock Nardini, who was targeting that. Simply in Front was a horse that was under consideration for it as well. Ended up staying up at Woodbine. She's Fire, a horse was going to be likely running over there as well. Ozara was a winner at Saratoga who was supposed to run potentially in the PG Johnson. I think she feels pretty scratched out of there when it came off the turf as well. So this race just came up absolute gangbusters. You have a European invader for Charlie Appleby in here, Brock Nardini, who had a sensational debut up at Saratoga, and you have the Catch a Glimpse winner in Air Rosa amongst others. So I was just completely in awe of just how stacked this particular race is, and one that I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a fun division all season, James.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I mean, it came up a lot stronger than last year. Last call upset the Natama last year at 21-1. She hasn't won since then, as in the Grade 3 Jockey Club Oaks at Aqueduct on Saturday. So, yeah, that is an exciting group. That Godolphin Appleby filly's got a big-time chance. Air Rosa looked awesome last time. So excited to see. And boy, Cassie and Adder, they really got some runners in those fields. I'm going to go to mention Wicked Halo for my what else. She's in the Open Mind Stakes, which is race 6 at Churchill on Saturday, 3-5 on the morning line. So not much betting intrigue involved with her, but I want to point out that Steve Asmussen trains this Wicked Halo, and she opened this year really with a pair of like strong efforts. Ran second in the Grade 1 Derby City Distaff at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby weekend. Split Matarea and Goodnight Olive, the champion filly from last year, champion female sprinter from last year. Came back, ran a next second to Goodnight Olive. And Steve Asmussen, he has an embarrassment of riches in the sprint divisions. He's got Echo Zulu, Society, and Wicked Halo. They're all, top class female sprinters, and he's managed to keep them all apart since this summer. Wicked Halo went to Ellis and won a stake, and is now coming to Churchill, but she appears to be angling for the filly and mare sprint. Not only does Asmussen have these 3 fillies, he also has Gunite, and Winchell Thoroughbreds owns Echo Zulu, Wicked Halo, and Gunite. So it's not very common you just see one barn have all these top sprinters in it. But this year it'll be interesting to see what Asmussen does come Breeders' Cup time with Echo Zulu. He could run 3 in the filly and mare sprint, just the Gunite in the sprint, but the sprint still remains an option for Echo Zulu moving forward. Ashley, what do you have for what else?
Well, I've got a horse that's not a great price either, but there's history potentially in the making with the Louisville Thoroughbred Society Stakes race 4 at Churchill with number 4 Bango. He's even money right now, actually the second choice on the morning line. He's going for a record-tying 11th victory at Churchill. Last out, he won against the next out winner in the 6.5 furlong Kelly's Landing Stakes, which was at Ellis, originally scheduled for Churchill. So had he raced at Churchill, maybe he would have gotten that 11th win already. And he's racing at 6 furlongs, which he's 8 for 15 for his career. He'll have Tyler Gaffalione aboard, who's the second leading jockey from the Churchill Spring Meet. And in their last 4 races together, Gaffalione has won with Bango. Greg Foley's also a 25% winner in non-graded stakes. So an excellent shot here for Bango to get that record-tying 11th win. And potentially next race, we'll see him going for the 12th. So some excitement on the Churchill card Saturday with that.
Yeah, it looks like a game of, I was going to say, just looks like a game of cat and mouse probably here between Florent Giroux and Tyler Gaffalione, 2 horses with tactical speed breaking alongside one another. It may come down to who gets the best trip here, but that's going to be an interesting showdown. They might hook up from start to finish, James.
Yeah, and I'm just going to give the Foleys, Greg Foley, the Foley Racing, some credit for the handling of this Bango. He's a horse to me that's seemingly gotten better every year, a really hard-hitting 6-year-old horse. And, he had won 3 straight stakes at Churchill before running into Gunite in the Aristides. So he's glad he doesn't have to deal with a rival like him on Saturday.
Yeah, and got that huge win at the St. Matthews Overnight Stakes during Derby week. So certainly
super impressive that day, yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have today for the jury. Again, check out those promos Darren mentioned at twinspires.com or the TwinSpires app. Be sure to tune in to Churchill's September meet, and we'll be back next Thursday with more best bets and fades of the weekend. We'll see you next time.